Hi Gemini, here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2013, and this looks like a more upbeat, forward-moving, progressive phase for you when maybe something that's been on the back burner for a while is beginning to come together, and you can get the ball rolling on something. It's a busy time in friendships or to do with group gatherings of any kind, group involvement of any kind. And you could be sharing interests in common with others of like mind, shall we say, and likely to be making new contacts. This is right up your street. It's a very sociable kind of vibe. This is a period that you expect to encounter the unexpected, not in any negative kind of a way, but just that there could be unconventional encounters maybe, or you taking an experimental approach, you know, just seeing how this goes, that goes. It's quite a technological area or scientific, so it may mean that you are having to get your head around some new stuff here. Networking is highlighted, anything to do with the internet is highlighted as well. In general, a governing factor won't be so much what you know as who you know during this period and what you may achieve together with them, or perhaps I could say through your association with them. And this is also a time when you can be quite innovative and others see you as innovative, and feeling quite motivated as well, but you also being the motivator maybe for others. And then from the 20th, the energies could manifest as a pull more towards things going on behind the scenes, more to do with maybe the past, or your some project that's on the drawing board, something that's maybe ongoing that needs some TLC from you. And you becoming more aware of others' needs and requirements, putting yourself out in a more selfless kind of a way perhaps, but also I have to say remembering that you have to be nurturing and do as much as you can to be nurturing to yourself as well during this time. But it's a great transit for the artistic Geminians out there, and anybody working in spirituality or healing. Your ruling planet, well, until the 14th, discussions and ideas and pondering things and conversations could, or rather correspondence could, center around the career area, the professional area, also just revolve around short-term plans, longer-term goals. And anybody, you know, getting in conversation with anybody who may help facilitate your aims, or anything like that could be highlighted. And you may find your goals and schemes are being validated or rejected by the way things are unfolding across the world stage, not just in your life, but across the world stage. So do what you're good at, keep your ear to the ground, and then you will be kept informed. You'll probably be putting more mental effort into expressing yourself in the best way you can, so as to come across in the best way to further your aims and ambitions. And for some of you, communications equipment, vehicle transport, and even travel could be part of the picture here. And then from the 14th, Mercury finally moves out of that area there where it's been actually since February, and puts the mental focus upon this very progressive area that I mentioned earlier about the sun, and thoughts will be future orientated. Discussions and correspondence or paperwork will be, you know, to do with getting the ball rolling, and also you thinking along new and unusual lines for some reason or another. Unusual information or unconventional experiences could be revealing, motivating, progressive, inspirational really, was what I should have said there. And more involvement in some kind of collective networking, that's very, very strong with Mercury in that area there. And again, contacts will be really important. New and old contacts will be really important. Not all of them, but some of them, or could be. You see, you never know with Mercury. It's always a question about keeping your ear to the ground, keeping informed, and keeping up to speed with what's new on the block. So in whatever way you can source this material, you will know how to do it, being a Geminian, and if you're a young one, you're learning. And now, until the 15th, friends and acquaintances, and all friendships and all acquaintanceships and acquaintances and contacts, group gatherings, all of that is really well starred. Team efforts benefit from Venus's sociable, helpful mood in this area here. Contacts new and old, pooling resources, pulling in a favor, giving favors, putting yourself out there on behalf of others or behalf of a cause in some way or another. You being viewed as the friend or colleague who is the, who can enable or be the bridge in some way for others that maybe they have waited a long time to achieve. But equally, flip that around, you also teaming up with somebody to do something which has maybe been pending for a long time, maybe for yourself or maybe for them or maybe for the pair of you. And then Venus comes out of there and goes into a more background area on the 15th. You're more inclined to keep your feelings to yourself, or maybe tuck yourself away, just sort of step back a bit and get on with things behind the scenes, be more of service. You want to put yourself out on behalf of somebody else, on behalf of others, but you maybe are, there's more going on inside of you than others realize. But this is a great time to touch base with yourself, to go to the places or do the things or be with the people which you know are nurturing for you. This is definitely the time for that. And your natural intuition will be working well here in a supportive kind of a way, both for yourself and others. And you should perhaps be seeking to get intuitive advice from somebody else at this time. Very good, excellent one for incubating ideas, and expressing yourself in an artistic way, or through speaking, writing, which also can be artistic, and developing yourself further through dream work, psychology, possibly looking back to the past, possibly looking into old patterns which maybe are counterproductive and get in your way, and maybe working, one-to-one with somebody on that. That would be a really good thing to be doing with Venus there. Now, until the 20th, that's a period when group gatherings, friendships, they can all go well. Actually, that's Mars being in exactly the same place as the Sun, which I described to you earlier on. But because it's Mars, you want to be more decisive and go ahead here, and being more assertive here. Anything to do with a group gathering or a group project or with friends, and it's very future orientated, so really putting drive and push behind getting the ball rolling on something, something that maybe has been on the back burner for quite a while and can now start to move forward because of your clarity, your decisiveness, others looking to you, in some way, and expecting you to be the one that maybe is in the driving seat to a degree. Or maybe it's not like that, maybe it's that you just don't want to hang around and wait anymore, because Mars is like that. Mars rules the head, likes to be spearheading things, likes to be out in front, likes to be in the lead, and is very short on patience. And then from the 20th, so just don't be hasty. Then from the 20th, Mars will be going into this background area, encouraging more self-reflection, more background type activity or selfless type activity. Could stir up your emotions as well. Mars here stimulates the emotional side, but also the subconscious, the unconscious, and that can be quite empowering. for those of you working in spirituality, healing, or with your imagination, and you becoming more conscious of what's in your dreams, or your daydreams as well, but the inner planes, meditation, yoga, tai chi, doing good works from behind the scenes, working with a group of like-minded others maybe from behind the scenes as well. In fact, both of the positions of Mars would favor that. I see this area as sort of like an incubation area, you getting something ready for when Mars comes into your sign, which won't be until probably beginning of June, very late in May or beginning of June. It's going to be here for about 6 weeks. So because your energies are more turned inwards, don't expect too much of yourself. You know, don't try and be all singing, all dancing, burning the candle at both ends, because it ain't gonna work. You would be draining your energies, so your vitality can be a bit lower because things are just more turned inwards at this time. But also watch that you don't get sucked into taking on more than you really do feel comfortable doing, and just be more self-protective of your boundaries at this time. Now on the 21st, 22nd, tendency to narrow-mindedness. Somebody could be you, might not be. Would it be? No, couldn't. But just you know, stay open-minded. On the 22nd, don't expect too much from yourself or others. Just be a bit self-protective there on the heart level. On the 28th or 30th to the 1st of May, a little bit more for you to push against, a little bit more challenge there. But stay positive, move forward slowly. And on the 1st and 2nd of the month, something underlying, either out there or in here, could come to light, but it can serve to clear the air. Now, with Jupiter in your sign, with a little while longer to go, been in there since last June, will come out this June 2013. So been promoting you to broaden your activities, a real growth spurt in your life when your mind can be opening up to new fields of interest or new ways of doing things, or getting a different slant on things. Travel comes into this. For some of you, foreign cultures can come into this. Higher education, or just getting your head around new information and figuring out how something works because you want to know. Just avoid trusting too much to luck though, or overlooking important details. That's very, very important at the moment, Gemini. And you Geminians born between the 31st of May and the 9th of June are going to feel this energy the most this month. Saturn's in a very long transit. It's got 2 years left to run in an area to do with you having to work harder and to get things how you want them to be, to get more organized, but also just you know, with employment, having to work harder, maybe taking on more work, and on a regular basis, you know, and you just got to be careful that you look after your own health here, because this energy can sort of wear you out. But on the other hand, you can be learning lots of really useful things and applying those skills or methods or techniques, and you know, really being consistent, really plugging away at something that you feel a lack of in the area of work, or how you work, or where you work, or who you work with, and you plug away at improving that. Also, we can relate all of this to health as well. It can be your own health or somebody else's that you are concerned about, and again, just that plugging away at it, at improving things there. And you Geminians born 27th of May to the 2nd of June, always 6 to 12 degrees rising, going to feel this energy most this month. Now, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto don't move very much month on month, so if you want to know which part of the sign they're connecting with the most at the moment, just go and look at my website. Uranus is in a very good angle to your sun sign, in a very sociable sector to do with collaborations, group efforts, teamwork, a collective of some kind, and that can be over the wires as well as locally. So it's likely that you'll be renewing and reinventing yourself through a different type of people, a different class of person, in a different kind of position in the pecking order, maybe but also you could be part of something which is pioneering and groundbreaking. This is quite a technological area, so some of you could be getting interested in, you know, adding another string to your bow where technology is concerned. Anything to do with the internet and like the equipment I'm using here as well. But something more serious than that, and over and above everything, this is an area to do with making hopes and dreams come true. So things that you've been, you know, yearning for to happen can actually start to happen now. Neptune's a new manifestation since 2011 at least. Means that it's in a very important place actually for you Geminians, because it's up at the top of your chart in the career sector and the, you know, I call it where do I go from here sector, so to do with life direction as well. There can be some confusion around that because it's Neptune, and Neptune rules fogs and mists, you know, sea mists kind of rolling in, and fogs, and it brings a certain amount of uncertainty, but is the least earthy of all of the planetary energies, and so it rules unity, it rules compassion, it rules selflessness. So the more selfless, the more supportive and facilitating you are for others, the better you will do with Neptune in this professional area of your chart. And I did list this last month, but Neptune is particularly connected with things like the arts, healing, spirituality, charities, catering, hospitality industry, boating, just water in general, and the like. So if you are doing anything which serves a community in some way, or serves a higher purpose and the community in some way, then you really are connecting with Neptune. You are meeting the vibrational criteria of Neptune. There will be other things as well which I haven't mentioned. And then Pluto, now in Capricorn, is regenerating you from deep levels in your emotional life, within your partnerships, but also centered around property, sometimes finance, you know, money, and other resources that you share or have shared with another. You know, maybe you're tearing up an old contract or an agreement, or maybe it's been torn up for you. The decks are clearing, and you will really feel that sometimes when Pluto draws close to an important point in your natal chart and the new green shoots are coming up, and that is related to maybe a money resource that maybe has to change for some reason, and or some kind of reversal there, turning of the tables maybe, and the balance of power has changed as well. It could be like that. And you know, with deep heart connections as well. So that's it for April. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then listen to the forecast for those. It will give a new slant or another slant on what I've said here, and I'll see you the next time.